Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Apex, and today I want to talk about the R97 SMG in Titanfall. Now, this is the first SMG that you unlock in Titanfall. It is an extremely fast-firing, however inaccurate, weapon. It's a primary weapon. It has 40 rounds in the magazine, and you have a couple of attachments that you are able to get for it. I can't go into specific stats right now because I don't have them, and I'm not sure where to find them yet. But when I do, I will start putting in specific stats for you, such as fire rate and accuracy. But as of right now, I'm not sure where I can find those. But I can tell you, it fires extremely fast, especially if you were to go and put on the scatter fire, which is a upgrade that you can use for it that increases the fire rate even more, but decreases accuracy, obviously. Um, but that is probably my favorite attachment for this weapon, since you should be using this in close quarters anyways, so you really shouldn't have to worry about accuracy, because you're going to be close enough where you might as well just hip fire with this thing, because it does have a great hip fire as well, and it shoots insanely fast with the scatter fire. It sounds like a chainsaw when you fire this thing. It's a lot of fun to use, actually. So some of the problems you're probably going to run into with this gun are range, as I've already said. It's a very, very short-range weapon. To the hip fire, even though it's already really nice, because the fire rate is just so ridiculous, the hip fire spread increases really quickly. Even at close range, it's going to become very inaccurate very fast. So I would definitely recommend burst firing with this weapon when hip firing and when aiming down sight, because even through burst firing, it's not going to affect your damage as much as it will improve your accuracy with the weapon, which is very important with this gun because it's got such a low amount of accuracy right now. So the main downfalls of this weapon are obviously the accuracy and the range. The range is awful on this weapon. I have actually put like full magazines into an enemy at range, and they didn't drop. It's definitely not meant to be a long-range weapon, obviously, being that it's an SMG and it's got a very high fire rate. But for those people that like to play a more either stealthy or mobile role, this gun is perfect. If you can close the distance between you and your enemy, this gun will be one of the best choices you can have, because it will outgun people with any of the other weapons so quickly. Even if they get the jump on you, you're still able to come back and win a lot of those firefights as long as your accuracy is on par. So the attachments that I think would go best with this weapon are definitely a hollow sight, or honestly the iron sights, because the iron sights in this game are actually really good, especially on the SMG, because on certain maps the color scheme kind of blends in with the iron sights themselves, so all you see is the red dot at the top of the iron sight, and it kind of acts like a red dot sight that has absolutely nothing blocking any peripheral vision. But aside from that, I would definitely use the scatter fire upgrade, because that is just an insane amount of fire rate that you get. This has to be one of the highest DPSing weapons in the game at close range, because that fire rate, I don't know what the specific number is, but I'm guessing it's somewhere around 1,000 RPM, because it sounds like a chainsaw when you're firing this thing, and it seems to act like one in how quickly you kill somebody with it. So yeah, those would definitely be the two best attachments for this weapon. I don't really think the suppressor's too good of an attachment unless you're playing that full-on stealthy role, because this gun's damage at range is already so low that just by adding that suppressor, you have to be extremely close to be at all useful with this weapon. But when it comes to which pilot tactical abilities you're going to want to run with, I would recommend either going with Cloak, so you can play that stealthy assassin role, which at that point I might actually recommend the suppressor, because that's going to keep you off the mini-map entirely, and you're going to be able to back rage quite a few enemies that way. But if you're not going to go with the Cloak ability, I would definitely say Stim, because you're going to have a huge amount of movement speed, which would definitely complement being able to jump around your enemies while indoors, and even outside you'll be able to outmaneuver them and get the drop on them with your high fire rate weapon. And then finally, for a sidearm, I would recommend honestly any of them, but if you want, since you already are using a high fire rate, close range weapon. I might say to use the B3 Wingman, since that's going to be your longest range sidearm with the highest amount of damage. So that'll at least cover you for the medium range as well as the close range with the SMG. So in conclusion, guys, I'm definitely going to give this weapon a thumbs up. It's a great close quarters weapon. It's a lot of fun to use if you like to play that stealthy and mobile role. And I probably wouldn't recommend it for beginners because it does have some more of the higher recoil and lower accuracy, but it's definitely a lot of fun to use. But that's all for this one, guys. I want to thank you for watching, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.